What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Chubbs Reviews, and today we're gonna be talking about Sleeping Dogs, a very old game. I've actually played this game back when it came out on the Xbox 360, when last generation console, and I actually picked it up again kind of a while ago, and I'm doing one of these look back videos. It's a review. I remember the game pretty well. I can give you guys my overall opinion on it. But I played it a while ago. It's not like right off the top, but I remember a lot, actually, surprisingly, and that makes the game very memorable and kind of shows how good it is. I don't know if you guys have heard about Sleeping Dogs. I consider it, and if you really talk to anyone who has played Sleeping Dogs, they always call it very underrated because it is underrated. It's almost like GTA in the sense that it's an open world in a city, but you play as a guy named Wei Chen. The city is Hong Kong, I think, right? Yeah, it's like Chinese or Japanese, something like that. I'm pretty sure it's Hong Kong. And he plays a guy named Wei Chen back in his hometown, or his home city, and he's an undercover cop, and he kind of gets involved with a gang with his friend Jackie, and it's crazy. I remember all these people's names, and he gets the connection through his old childhood friend Jackie, and then he gets into the oh shit, what was the triads? Yeah, it is the triads. Yep, he gets into the triads, kind of works his way up, meets some people, some bad things happen. Works his way up even more and more, and he's just a badass throughout. Wei Chen is actually one of the more underrated characters of all time, just like the game is very underrated. Like I said, it's an open world like GTA. You got cars driving around. The action is a lot different in the sense that it's more like an Arkham City game or superhero game. You got your basic combos, and actually not even basic combos. I don't think the combos were in depth, but there was like a lot of different moves. I remember you would collect statues, find them in hidden places even throughout the story, and then you would bring them to one of your old karate masters, and he would teach you a new move that you would pick from. And there were all type of upgrades for being a cop. There were even cop missions because you are an undercover cop, and there were just straight up police missions where you were an officer. I'm kind of ranting here, but this game was really cool. I'm gonna tell you guys about it. There were plenty of cop missions, detective missions where you had like the four parts to a mission to get to a serial killer, or I remember there was a street racers, and this one guy was kind of suspected of killing off other racers over time, like if they had beef, and you kind of race and get into the racing business, and then that's how racing is put into the game. It's part of this fucking story. That is so cool to me, like and that's just the cop side. That's probably why this is one of my favorite games ever. It got both sides down so well. You were a cop, you could do cop missions, a detective. I was so sad when I was done with the cop missions. And then there's just normal ones like being a SWAT man and just running in and taking out a few people, and it like has nothing to do with the story. It's just side stuff to upgrade your cop abilities. And then you got being a triad. You got being a gang member, doing gang shit, fighting other triad members, or just going out with. God, I'm trying to think of people's names that I remember everyone's names were so badass, like your higher ups. I remember Big Smile Lee. That was one of the funnier names. Not funnier names, but more memorable. But throughout, you just have you kind of get one dude that's on your side and that's higher up, and he likes you a lot. He brings you in, he kind of builds you up, and then you meet the next top guy, and you kind of earn his trust and so on. And the game builds up to some dramatic events, and then you see Wei Chen, like literally. I remember this game having a cool he was mentally going through this shit. Like he wanted to be a cop, but then the cops were asking him to do shit on the gang that he wasn't prepared to do because he's kind of getting involved into the gang. And I'm not really spoiling anything. This is just generally how it goes. It's a way better when you actually play it. This game had a good story, and when you're into when like I remember he couldn't sleep at night. Like every time the game has like a go home and go to sleep option, you would go home and go to sleep to continue the day, the next mission, the next day, and he just could not sleep. He'd have nightmares about the shit he's done and been through and seen, because it's just like it is super messed up. It's over the top messed up, and it's really cool. I remember little things about this game. I said the combat was cool. I remember the collectible, all the shrines around the city you would go up and pray to was funny as hell. Not funny, they were just unique. You would see them flashing, like, oh, you would find a little briefcase around the map full of money, and the hacking system was cool. I remember you could always do drug bust, which is a little side thing. This is just one of the examples of side things you could do here, side missions. You could hack a security camera and then go back to your hotel room and look at the camera and wait until a drug deal happens. It's no, not really much waiting. The drug deal happens once you hack the security camera, and you can drug bust someone. It's like boom, right there in your hotel. I remember driving around during missions. And when you're in a mission, it counts how well you drive. Oops, sorry for cracking my knuckles. I know that's not good during videos. Um, but yeah, I remember this game would count like how good you drove during missions, and like say if you didn't crash into anything, you got like full experience for that mission, no matter what it was. Like if you, like and if you just slightly kind of messed up or hit a pole or two, then you didn't get the perfect, but you still you can still get a good one while you don't be stupid about it. It makes you actually consider driving like not normal, but like don't just be reckless about it. It gives you an incentive to drive not crazy or stupid. I thought that was unique. I still don't see it to game. This is a game that was made in like 2011, 10, something like that, even maybe earlier. Um, I should know. I'm doing a review on it, but I just wanted to sit and talk about how underrated this game is, and that's what people will tell you about. I got it for $15 a while ago. I would get it for 20 or less dollars. I don't think it was that long, maybe 20 hours. God, I don't really know. I'm kind of thinking off the head. Um, but it was worth it. Everything was pretty memorable. The stuff I haven't said, I just don't want to spoil. The way you defeat the final guy, the final boss, the way you murder him. I guess that's a spoiler, but you murder him because Wei Chen is a badass. He's murdering people throughout the game. He's just a kung fu god. But the way you do it to that final guy is so messed up. I remember all this. Yeah, speaking of that, all the shit you could do during combat, like special moves with items and areas around to like just throw someone into a phone booth and beat the hell out of them, or throw them into a fish tank, or do all types of wild moves. Kind of like a Yakuza like special move system in a sense. I don't think I've reviewed Yakuza yet on the channel, but I like Yakuza. But yeah, Sleeping Dogs was really cool, and I've really done nothing but praise the game. The game just lacked guns weren't really introduced until like halfway through the game, to be honest. And then when they were, it's just like I don't know. I liked fighting more. It was weird, but and then the production and like quality look of the game isn't the greatest. Acting was really good. Wei Chen's a great actor. All the actors were really good, voice wise. But it just didn't have the best graphics. I know it's an older game, but you can just tell it doesn't have GTA quality production. Um, it's kind of memorable, and would I say it's better than GTA some areas, but GTA's got a fun story too, and that's like been going on for years now. And GTA really came out like 8 years ago as well when you think about it. So, you know, I don't know why I'm talking about GTA so much. This game is its own game, and it's just cool. It's something else, something you should really check out. Maybe watch some gameplay on it if you don't believe me. I know I don't have gameplay in my videos. I apologize. But anyway, final rating. I'm trying to think if there's any more negatives I had. I just know the production wasn't that great. I mean, there really wasn't a super main boss or main antagonist. It was just kind of like you're going through a lot of different shit, and then there becomes the end of the game. There was no Sleeping Dogs 2. This game never got a follow up. It's already confirmed. That it just never gets. It's on my list for if there is ever if you wish for a game to come out for like part 2 or a sequel of a game that any game ever, what would you pick? Mine's always been Sleeping Dogs. I want a Sleeping Dogs 2 with Wei Chen in today's production, and just him being older, more wise, badass. Not as angry as he was maybe in this one. Um, more character development maybe. It wasn't the most like touching story, even though it was good. That's what it was, really just action packed, detective-y and straight to the point. And it leaves a fun impression. Like I'm trying to dumb down the game because I've talked about it a lot, and my overall rating of the game isn't that high because it leaves a fun impression, but not too much of a lasting impression. People aren't just talking to each other about this game. But it was good, underrated. Check it out. It's gonna be the best of the final verdict here. It's the best. Maybe not the best. I give a lot of games a 7 out of 10. A lot of good games. 7 out of 10 is good. And I'm kind of basing it on today's world. If you play it right now today, it's a solid 7 out of 10, and I recommend it even. I actually recommend this game. Anyway, I'll quit ranting about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to me, please. My lips are dry now. This was a good video. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.